Hello, my name is Edgar Brown. Hello, people. I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but I'm back with another video, and you guys are gonna love this video. This video is based on my thoughts on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation case. Now, here's the thing. I want to express that I am very happy that Johnny Depp got his justice, and he won about 13 no, I think $15 million in the defamation suit, and that bitch Amber Heard won about 3 million or whatever. But anyway, the point is, it's not about how much money both one or two parties have won. It's a fact that this is a victory for all men who have been physically abused by their own spouse. And let's be honest, just like men, women have been getting away with it for years. And nobody takes the time to look through the eyes of an abused man, because we're taught to, oh, you probably deserve it, or you need to suck it up and take it like a man and stuff like that. Nobody will ever take an abused man seriously, but let that had been a woman, everyone will jump her side. Everyone wanna kick his ass. But the point I'm trying to say is that the fact that Johnny Depp won his defamation case against Amber Heard, you know, let that be a lesson to all. And, you know, I don't mean to say this, but let this be a lesson to all you abusive bitches out there who think because you're a fucking female that it's okay to put your hands on a man. Because let's be honest, if it was me, I'd have punched that bitch right back, and I don't care if she called the police. At the end of the day, I was brought up, if you want to act like a man, expect to be treated like a man. So if you put your hands on a man, expect him to put his hands back on you. Okay? So let this be a lesson to all you abusive bitches out there. And the fact of the matter is, if the roles were reversed, Johnny Depp would be in jail right now. And she would probably win the case. She'd probably win a whole lot of money. Okay? Now, millions of dollars may not sound like a lot to these celebrities, but to us, that's a lot of money. But the thing is, the thing is, domestic violence is wrong. I don't care if it's man or woman. Okay, nobody should be putting their hands on nobody unless two people are ready to make love. That's the only time people should be putting their hands on one another. But the thing is, people from both sides, men and women, just have this tendency of not keeping their hands to themselves. And I guess in this case, in Johnny Depp's case, Amber Heard seems to forget that that unless he put his hands on her, she had no business putting her hands on him. Okay, and like I said, women been getting away with it for years, because it's like this. You know, if a woman turns around and goes to the cops and say he hit me, all she got to do is shed a tear. First thing the cop going to do is believe her and take him to jail. Okay, now I think it's a little more complicated, because now she has to show proof that a man have her husband or boyfriend, fiance, whatever, baby daddy has put his hands on her. So she can't just falsely accuse someone. There has to be evidence of a fight or a confrontation. So a female cannot falsely call the police and say, "Oh, he hit me." But women have done this before, and women have gotten away with it. And there have been men who have went to jail because of that. There have been men who were probably cops have, had to turn in their guns, their weapons, because of domestic violence, even if it's not true. And until further notice, those cops probably had to turn in their guns because of their spouse, called the police, the authorities, saying that their spouse hit him. And chances are, if you're a cop and you work for any form of law enforcement, you would have to turn in your weapon. You have to turn in your weapon, because when it comes to domestic violence, especially if there's guns involved, you know what I'm saying? If when it comes to a law enforcement, an officer of the law, they have to take your gun away. So there have been some instances where women have gotten away with it, have falsely accused a man of domestic violence. But if a man tries to go to the police and try to tell that the woman hit him, then they'll turn around. They may not even believe him. You know, he might even get laughed at the station because nobody wants to. You know, it's not every day you hear stories of a man being abused by his own spouse, but it happens, and women have been getting away with it. You know, and I'm actually glad that Amber Heard actually, you know, it has to pay. She needs to be punished. Because, like I said, if the roles were reversed, Johnny Depp be in jail right now. But why isn't Amber Heard in jail? And that's another thing. She lied on the oath. I think she has lied on the oath. That's a crime in the eyes of the law. She should be doing prison time for perjury. But because of her being a rich, pretty, Caucasian, blonde female, she's probably going to get some leniency because rich people tend to get away with things that people like me and you who are not so rich cannot get away with. Rich people can get away with things that poor people, middle class people cannot get away with. Donald Trump said it best, and he said it, I think it was in an interview, that he can go down the street, pull out his gun and blow somebody's brains out and he'll get away with murder. Because that's how powerful Donald Trump is perceived to be. That's how powerful he thinks he is. So it's the same thing that applies to rich people. People who are rich can get away with things that me and you and other poor and middle class people cannot get away with. So with that being said, if she has perjured herself, and I believe she has on the stand, she'll probably get a lenient sentence. She'll probably, I don't know, she might get community service or whatever because she has lied on the oath. And that's a crime in the eyes of the law. If you lie on an oath, you can go to prison. You know, but the point I'm trying to say that this is definitely a victory for all men who have been abused by their women. And like I said, I don't give a fuck, woman or not. Any woman decides to put her hands on you, and I don't care if people criticize me for saying this, you have every right. You have the God-given right, and you have the lawful right, you know what I'm saying, to be able to defend yourself. If a bitch decides that she wants to punch you, especially punch you in the face, you have every right to punch her back. It is your right. You have every right, regardless whether you're a man or not. Self-defense should not have it should not be a discrimination when it comes to gender. Because if the roles were reversed, everybody would basically root her to basically fight off the man. How many of you guys have watched that movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, where Ike Turner was, if you watch the movie, where he was literally beating the living piss out of Tina Turner for years. And then finally, and I cheered on too, Tina finally said, enough is enough. I'm tired of the abuse. I'm tired of the embarrassment. She beat the absolute shit out of him. And yeah, she was a little bloody and all that stuff, but she beat the shit out of him. She finally stood up for herself. It's like owners who abuse their dogs. And dogs, they might be scared of their owners, but sooner or later, they get enraged and they finally attack. They bite their owner. Same thing with Tina Turner. She finally fought back and beat the living dog shit out of Ike. And rightfully so. He deserved it. He shouldn't be putting his hands on her. But the point I'm trying to say is, the same way she had a right to defend herself, the same way a man has a right to defend himself. And he should not have to face an ounce of jail time. I'm not saying he should beat the living daylights out of his woman, because that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, if a woman hits a man, he has every right to hit her back. Period. But in Johnny Depp's case, I think in one instance he did hit her back. I believe. But whether he did or not, he would have been totally justified. And I want to say that, once again, this is a victory for all abused men. Big shout out to Johnny Depp, if he's ever watching this video. I was rooting for him the whole time because, I mean, I've never been abused, but I know I've seen instances where men have been getting abused and nobody talks about it. Nobody ever, try to see through what a man goes through, because men, we're seen as, being dominant, being alpha. We should be able to take whatever a woman dish out. But let it had to been the roles be reversed, a man would be demonized by society for hitting a woman, and rightfully so. His wife, as well as he should. And sometimes he'll still get demonized for even defending himself. But this is the world we live in, and I sometimes feel that the law, when it comes to domestic violence, not always, but it can be a bit biased against men. So I'm glad that Johnny Depp didn't end up being another horror story of him being a victim of domestic violence and, his spouse basically getting away with it. You know, I'm just happy that he did not end up being another horror story, of him getting physically abused by his wife, girlfriend, or whatever, and and his wife, girlfriend basically gets away with it. But like I said, it's a victory for all abused men out there. So my message to all you abused men who are getting abused: don't sit there and take that shit. If your woman, if your wife or your girlfriend is abusing you, you need to leave her, okay? But if you can't, in your situation you can't, whatever, and she's putting her hands on you, then you have a right to defend yourself by any means. Legally and lawfully, you are well within your right. Now, if you turn around and beat the ever living shit out of her, then that's excessive, and you can go to jail for that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be looked upon as the villain, even though she was clearly in the wrong. Because that goes for men too. If you turn around and beat the living daylights out of a man, even though he put his hands on you, you can be liable for criminal charges, because of the fact is they're looking at it as it's excessive. So if you don't have a mark on your face and that man or that woman has marks on their face, it's not going to look good for you in court. You know what I mean? But the point is, you are well within your right to defend yourself. And that goes for anyone, man or woman. If your spouse is abusing you, you should just leave the relationship, because let's be honest, it's just a matter of time before it gets worse. Okay? But like I said, this is a victory for all abused men out there. So all you abused men out there, keep your head up and just keep fighting a good fight. And if she hits you, hit back. Fuck all that shit about her being a woman. Fuck that. Women been fighting for equality for years, for decades. So when it all boils down to, when it comes to equality, it seems like they want the benefits, but they don't want the means. They don't want the consequences that come with it. Okay. So with that being said, that's all I gotta say for now. I might make another video concerning this. But this is Edgar Brown out. Have a blessed day. I'm back. I'll definitely will be making more videos for all my fans out there. So, peace.